What up, y'all? Reformed Stoic here, back with another video. Got my shirt off. I won't make a habit of it, but it's all good, you know. I'm looking good enough to where I'm at least not disgusting, right? But not so good that you need to shower me with compliments. Okay. So this video is just, I just about have no desire to socialize anymore. I was planning on going to this social function this week, and I'm just thinking about how I just don't want to go, and how I pretty much never want to go. I don't really want to go to family functions anymore. I don't want to go to like bars or clubs. It's not that I don't want to meet people, but I guess I don't. I want to meet people my way, but I don't really know what my way is. Like, I think my mind is just trying to obscure myself somehow from the truth that on some level I don't have any desire to be social anymore. I would like to be social with a woman. I would like to figure out how to meet a woman to date, but it doesn't really seem like there's a way to do that without regular mixing and mingling and socializing, and that part of me is just broken, man. Like, life took some twists and turns, and, you know, I struggled, but it's crazy to think that I'm 33 years old now, and the last time that I was, like, really up in the mix is when I lived in Boston, and that was 10 years ago. That was like 10 or more years ago, and I was a completely different person. You know, I feel like I'm better now. I feel like I'm deeper, smarter, more confident, more masculine, in better shape. I just carry myself better. But at the same time, I'm just no bullshit, and I find that in the social world there is bullshit to be had, and it's one thing to be like, oh, well, you know, I know how to deal with these situations, but it's another thing to just be like, why put myself in the situation, you know? And yeah, when I was in my hometown, I went to some church functions, and it's crazy how there was just no future. There was just no future, you know. I put myself through it, and I got so tired of it eventually that I just stopped going to church, stopped playing with the worship team. I was playing drums with the worship band, and I felt it mentally exhausting. It was exhausting. Like, I think there was 2 rehearsals a week. Like, we rehearsed on Thursday, and then you go to church early on Sunday and rehearse, and then I go home for like an hour and then go back and play. I didn't play every weekend, but everything just kind of felt pointless, you know? And I don't want to make it sound like I'm obsessed with trying to find a relationship. That's not... I don't want to come off as like desperate. It's not that I'm obsessed with finding a relationship. It's just that that's all I'm really interested in, you know? That's the only thing I really feel like I'm missing out on. I don't really care that I don't have friends. So it's not that I'm desperate for a relationship with a woman. It's just that that's the only thing out there somewhere that I'm really interested in. I'm just not passionate about life anymore. I mean, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm depressed. You know, I do things. I do spiritual things. I read, meditate, work out. Part of me likes to think I can meet a girl at the gym, but it's just not really happening. I mean, I don't really see the same people at the gym when I go there. I play drums, so it's like I kind of need to interact with people if I'm ever going to figure out how to like get out there and do that again. And but I just enjoy playing drums on my own, you know, just kind of jamming along to music and just improvising weird polyrhythmic groovy stuff. I mean, is it weird? Yeah, but it just is what it is, man. Like, I was a very particular way when I was growing up. I was a little bit of a jester maxer. It's weird, like I was outgoing and I was shy. I was the life of the party and I was lonely. Like I was just this very specific kind of a person, and there was a lot of people around, but I just never really like got what I wanted out of it, you know? Like people liked me, but I don't want it to keep coming back to the women thing, man. But ultimately, I was raised on romance, movies and TV and music and ooey gooey emo music and stuff, and I made those videos, and that's the only thing that I kind of feel like I'm missing out on. It's like, damn, I wish I could just find a woman to like watch movies with, nerd out with, eat food with, go on walks or hikes or whatever, you know, basically just kind of do the same kind of stuff that I already do. Yeah, obviously, you know, a little sex and affection would be nice, but just, that's the only company that I really crave. Just like a kind of girl who just kind of is a homebody and would want to spend time with me, man, because I don't know how to jumpstart my social life again, and I'm kind of afraid that unless I put in a great effort, it's not going to happen. And I don't really want to put in a great effort into anything at this point. Like, I'm burnt out, man, and people try to label me like I'm lazy. Like, bro, I got really good at the drums, man, and life was like pretty intense at one point, you know? Like, I entered these competitions every year in high school, and I won. I was like the all-state snare drummer, and I got into Berkeley, and I played in bands, and it kind of felt like my life was like doing this slow climb, and then it just kind of all went to shit, and then I rotted away and was isolated for years, never being able to find what I was looking for with women. You know, I got laid a couple of times, but just never get in a relationship. And I spent a lot of time alone now. And the point of this video isn't just to like complain or make it sound like I'm depressed. The specific point is like, I don't have a desire to socialize anymore. I would like to meet a woman, and I also hate dating apps. So it's like, oh, perfect, man. Just fill out your profile and meet a girl that you match up with on a dating app. I just don't want to do that. I don't like putting myself in situations where that make me feel like low value, you know? I've been on dating apps before, and I couldn't meet any women, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself out there and then be like, oh man, I'm not getting any matches because I'm getting rejected by all these women who I don't know, you know? It's like I have too much self-respect. Like, I have too much self-respect to put myself in social situations where it might be awkward. I feel like a very likely situation, because I went to this jazz thing in Vegas once. I sat at a table by myself. I went up and played. Nobody clapped for my solo. I did trading fours and nobody clapped, bro. And I really wonder why that is, because I know it wasn't bad. And yeah, I don't know what the deal was. Like, there was just some unspoken thing, like people didn't like me. And I don't want to say I've had all bad experiences with people, but it's been a long time since I've had good experiences with people. There's just certain kinds of guys, like, around every corner who try to give you a hard time, and I don't know, man. I'm exhausted. I don't want to make it sound like I'm afraid. I don't want to make it sound like anything. It's like, you know, it's not like I'm, like, afraid, like I'm a wuss, or like, ooh, I'm not afraid of anybody because I'm a tough guy. I'm burnt out, dude. And yeah, the thought of getting in a fight, it's not so much like fear of getting beat up, it's fear of like everything else. I actually think I'm pretty good at fighting now, and there's already people who have labeled me like I'm a bad guy because a couple of things I said when I was upset, and I could probably get over being alone. And I feel like maybe at some point, you know, every time you go to the gym, you're spinning the reels, it's like you're playing a really crappy casino machine. I feel like at some point I'll just bump into a girl who's cool, and it'll be easy, and I'll be in shape, and I'll be looking good, and it will work itself out. But I don't want to work for it. I don't want to go mingle. I don't want to go socialize. I don't want to put myself in awkward situations. I don't want to be on dating apps. And I had some people visiting, and we went out a little bit, and I went and scouted some things out, and I did kind of notice this, and it makes me a little bit afraid, where it's like, wow, man, like, the part of you that like craves to be social and that is willing to put yourself out there is very atrophied and calloused. And if you don't like put in some serious effort, like, okay, every Tuesday I get up early and look at myself in the mirror and put on a button up and force myself to go outside, like, and I'm not going to do that. I just really don't want to do that. And I have no idea how I'm ever going to be social ever again. And time is just going whoosh, time is just flying by, man. And it's kind of sad because I used to be pretty social. I used to be kind of a social butterfly, and it's just really sad how things worked out in my life, because when I started to blossom a little bit physically, when I started to get a little bit bigger and stronger and work out, probably becoming more attractive to women, I also started to become more insecure, and I was on drugs and starting to drink, and I was surrounded by people who were not good friends. That's when all these weird narcissist people came into my life and were kind of like gatekeeping my confidence and my self-image. And came across a thread tonight where somebody's like, I don't know what it is, man, you know, I just kind of can't win. Like, I take one step forward, 10 steps back. It just seems like things aren't meant to go well. And like I said, man, the point is not to come off as super depressed. It's not that I'm depressed, it's that I just don't want to try anymore. People try to tell me that 33 isn't old, and I don't feel old. I feel like I'm probably pretty close to my prime. This is probably what I've been waiting for my entire life, because I've always been kind of short. I've always been kind of awkward. I went bald early, and it's like, oh man, I figured out how to shave my beard and how to shave my head, and I'm not super skinny anymore, and I'm not super like trying to win everybody's approval anymore. Like, this is it, dude. You're in your prime, dude. Go out there and get 'em, Tiger. I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. People always let me down. I've been let down so many times. I've dealt with so much bullshit. I feel like sometimes when you are kind of on your ball, you know, I go to some like thing and just straight shooter and not saying a lot, carrying myself a certain way that I've learned to develop over a long period of time, it makes people a little bit uncomfortable. And then people start trying to test me, and then it's like, here we are again. Here we are, back to square one. It's like, I used to try it too hard, been too shy, been too outgoing. I've blown it just about every way you could possibly blow it. And it's like, man, how does anybody have a good life? How do people just win at life, man? Because I really did what I set out to do, you know? I mean, my goal was to, like, get good at music, and I did. But now I don't have the social willpower and endurance to, like, meet anybody and do anything. And I kind of just want to, like, fall into some amazing gig without networking. And I kind of just want, like, some awesome girl just throw herself at me, and people are like, well, you're entitled, and you're like, whoa, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anything, dude. I want to work out and play drums and be creative and read books. I don't really want to try anymore. And I'll probably, like, try, but I really don't want to. And I guess you could say I have a kind of a chip on my shoulder. It's like, yeah, a chip on your shoulder. You feel like, it's like, well, I feel like I put in effort already a long time ago. And I do resent that it didn't work out, and I don't want to try anymore. So maybe somebody needed to hear that message because you're feeling the same. I mean, if nothing else, man, hearing that other people feel the same way as you do, sometimes that helps. It helped me when I heard that other people felt that way. But not because it makes me want to try, not because it's like, oh, okay, well, I am going to try because other people feel this way. It's like, no, it just justifies to feel this way. And I'm pretty observant about things. It's like, I have a pretty good idea that I'm not going to click with people. And it's not because I'm negative. It's because I'm smart. It's because I know what kind of people are out there, and I know who I am. And I just know that I'm just not going to click with people. And I'll probably be around people. Because who even goes to bars anymore, bro? The kind of people who have always gone to bars. The people who never dropped out of life and lost all their friends and were isolated for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go and be around these, like, hyper social people. And I don't think I'm awkward, but I'm kind of quiet and reserved. And on some level, I have a potential to stick out like a sore thumb at the same time. If I reveal some of my talents or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, you're like this, so you must be like this. It's like, no, I'm not. So what have you been doing, dude? And eventually it just becomes evident. Eventually they get it. They're like, oh, so you just, like, don't go out, so you don't have any friends. And I feel like I'm either going to figure it out right now, or I'm just going to keep going down this path that I've been going down, guys. So, that's that. That's all that needs to be said about that. 20 minutes. That's one of my shorter videos. I think we're just going to leave it at that. God bless.